Good morning, everyone. Today we are examining Ezekiel chapter 28. And I want us to pull a couple of different messages from this particular chapter. One of them is going to be at the beginning of the chapter, and the other is going to be at the end of the chapter. But as you examine Ezekiel 28, there's messages, as we've seen a few different times already in Ezekiel, to a number of different people. You have the first message, which is to the Prince of Tyre, the second to the King of Tyre, the third to the people of Sidon, which is the sister city of Tyre, and then the last message is actually to all of them about what is going to take place in Israel. And so you have this statement at the beginning to the Prince of Tyre in verse 2. And there God says, Son of man, say to the Prince of Tyre, Thus says the Lord God, because your heart is lifted up, and you say, I am a god, I sit in the seat of gods, in the midst of the seas, yet you are a man and not a god, though you set your heart as the heart of a god. And then you drop down to verse number 6, and he says, Because you have set your heart as the heart of a god, behold, therefore, I will bring strangers against you, the most terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their swords against the beauty of your wisdom, and defile your splendor. They shall throw you down into the pit, and you shall die the death of the slain in the midst of the sea. Will you still say before him who slays you, I am a god? But you shall be a man, and not a god, in the hand of him who slays you. To the Prince of Tyre, God makes the statement that the Prince of Tyre believes himself to be God. He believes himself to be a God, that he has final authority, that he has the ability to have the ultimate say, that he has the power to make the decisions and to be the one who is honored and revered and worshipped. And yet when you examine what God tells him here, he says, look, here's all the things that are going to happen to you. Here's all the things that are outside of your control. Here's all the things you will not be able to stop and you will not be able to fix. Now, are you still a god? There are many people today that have that same kind of mentality. They have the mentality that they are a god, that they are the one in charge, that they are the one with the power, that they are the one who can do whatever it is they want to do, and nobody can stop them. Nobody can say or do anything to change it. It's just simply not true. We are not God. We are men. We have limitations. We are less powerful. We are less capable. We are less able than God is. We are his creation. We are not him. We are like him in many different ways. We were created to be like him in many different ways. But we are not him. We are not gods as far as that goes. Even though many times people like to put themselves up on pedestals and present themselves as being greater than what they are. In Ezekiel chapter 28, in the first half, God is illustrating the fact that even though someone might consider themselves a god, that doesn't make it so. You know, there are many things today that people think they are. It doesn't mean that that's what they are. But then at the end of chapter 28, he talks about Israel. And he says, Thus says the Lord God, when I have gathered the house of Israel from the peoples among whom they are scattered, and am hallowed in them in the sight of the Gentiles, then they shall dwell in their own land, which I gave to my servant Jacob, and they will dwell safely there, build houses and plant vineyards. Yes, they will dwell securely, and when I execute judgments on all those around them who despise them, then they shall know that I am the Lord their God. God here promises that the people of Israel will have a home to return to, that they will be those who will dwell in their own land. They will dwell safely there. They will build houses. They will plant vineyards. They will get on with their everyday life. And he says that will be able to happen once I execute my judgments on all of the nations round about them, on those that have despised them, on those that have caused them great heartache and trouble. You've seen some of those nations being mentioned already in the chapters previous to this. But basically, what God said is, I will ensure an environment that allows for peaceful life to return. Now, doesn't mean it will always be peaceful, and yet the everyday course of life will be a peaceful one. He's going to give hope to his people. These are the things that we see in Ezekiel chapter 28. Tomorrow, Lord willing, we will come back and we will examine Ezekiel chapter 29. But until then, I hope you have a great day.